The driver's seat is presented by Ray Reese Volkswagen and Portland's Hyundai, Portland's #1 VW dealer and Portland's newest Hyundai dealer. Now let's climb into the driver's seat on Miles Around Television.
In our driver's seat, it's the 2008 Honda Civic Hybrid. This vehicle, first seen in 2003, has walked away with many awards. Gets 40 to 45 miles per gallon. And I can tell you the great thing about this vehicle is it's one of the top 10 vehicles for resale value in the United States.
We're going to take a look at several things with the Civic Hybrid. We're going to take a look in the interior at this new, very innovative dash. First, we're going to take a look right here under the hood.
Underneath the hood of the 2008 Honda Civic Hybrid, you find two engines. You find the gas 1.3 litre and the 20 horsepower electric motor. Now, when you lift the hood of this, if you don't know that a hybrid is an electric and a gas motor, you might expect to see a few gerbils and a hamster wheel rolling around. Well, no, this car does really well on the flat, but once you get onto the hills, it does need that extra oomph to increase those revs to actually get the horsepower on the ground.
Well, this is the heart of everything there really is to talk about the Honda Civic Hybrid. It's the IMA, or Integrated Motor Assist, 1.3-liter four-cylinder with that 20 horsepower electric motor. Now, the big question is what everybody gets is test mileage. Now, for us, we got about 35 to 40 miles per gallon, depending on whether we drove it hard or very often. Now, myself, for business, I do about 500 miles a week, so I'm not always going to take advantage of the long trips or regular freeway driving that most people would on their daily commutes. Now, I will say this, while you're in traffic or while you're driving, it's just fine. I do have a little bit of maybe a complaint to say. The ingress and egress, or the in and out system where the electric motor assists the gas powered motor, is a little herky-jerky. I find myself at stoplights kind of doing that 2-foot shuffle, as I call it, in traffic. The assist motor kind of comes on and off, and it's kind of a little bit of a cumbersome thing. It makes it feel as if there's something wrong with the car. I know that's something to kind of complain about, but overall there's definitely some high points. The great fuel mileage, the almost non-existent emissions make this car do what it's supposed to do. Give you great mileage and very low effect on our community. Now, while sure all day long we can talk about that integrated motor assist and the great fuel mileage and low emissions that come with the Civic Hybrid, but there is more to that that's notable in the mechanical side of things. Great suspension, McPherson struts in the front, multi-link in the rear, and these kind of funky wheels that make it known as a hybrid to the outside world. But I'll tell you this, even though it's the least powerful of all the Civic lineups, it's actually fun to drive. Has great turn-in, nice feel in the wheel, and the brakes are firm and solid as well. All of it coming together is a great package.
Taking a look at the exterior of the 2008 Honda Civic Hybrid, it looks like any other Honda Civic on the street. There are a few design subtle differences from the regular Honda Civic, but this car wasn't designed because they wanted to make a great piece of beauty. This car was designed to help low drag coefficient and also to make the car very aerodynamic. They put it in a wind tunnel, they changed some of the designs to make sure the car flowed better, and this is what you get, the 2008 Honda Civic Hybrid.
Speaking of styling when it comes to the 2008 Honda Civic Hybrid, the one thing you are going to notice is this very peculiar color. Now, I know a lot of the car companies out there like to do something that makes themselves stand out, whether it be a funky design like the Toyota brand or this peculiar color, as I called it, on the Honda. It is something that makes itself stand out. Now, I believe that the car is actually a good-looking vehicle overall. I like the lines. I like the kind of low-slung look and the very raked windshield. But again, I think the car would look a little bit better in that great Honda blue or a black. It doesn't have to necessarily stand out to make it a hybrid to me. I like the look, it's just whether or not you like this color. Jumping into the interior of the hybrid Civic, I will say that though it looks like every other Civic, there is definitely things to talk about. Great hip, shoulder, and legroom. Nice interior design as a way of separating the gauges so you don't take your eyes off the road. And the crown jewel, that navigation/radio system. Nice big color display, easy to use, and though it's a navigation system, I'll make the pun, easy to navigate.
As far as the passenger is concerned of the 2008 Honda Civic Hybrid, there is plenty of room here. You can also move the seat quite far forward, which gives your backseat passenger some extra room. Very modern and Swedish in design, although one of the things I'd like to see them do on the inside in the future is actually give a light to the vanity mirror. Now, those sort of things are obviously done inside the Honda Civic Hybrid to reduce the amount of electricity that's used inside the car, so that electricity can go into the battery and be used for driving. But some of those amenities in 2008 are fairly necessary.
This is the part of the program where we talk about our 2 ups and 1 down for this, the 2008 Honda Civic Hybrid. Now, that's a couple things that we like and one thing we wish we could change. For me, I'm going to take pieces of the low-lying fruit when it comes to the brand itself. It's my first up. The build quality, long-term reliability is certainly there for the Honda. The other side is the fuel mileage. Now, I only say that because, yes, it's a hybrid and that's one of the major reasons people are going to shop for this vehicle, but the way that I drive vehicles. I drive aggressively. I like to put a lot of miles on a vehicle. I'm always going here and there, and I'm always stuck in traffic going to a business meeting or something to do with the family. And any car that can get over 35 miles per gallon in my driving circumstances definitely is going to be an up. Now, my downside is going to be a nitpick. I love the fuel mileage, I love the build quality, like I just said, but I want to talk about the way that the electric assist goes on and off with the auto stop system. The way that the car herks and jerks at stop signs is very annoying to me. I wish you could either turn it off, make it more smooth. I don't even know how to say it, but Honda, you got to fix that, and then I'd have nothing down to say.
Now, for my 2 ups and 1 down for the 2008 Honda Civic Hybrid, I got to start with the gas usage. We get to test a lot of vehicles, we get to use them on the road, we get to poke them and prod them, and there's very few vehicles that you actually want to get your checkbook out and sign a check for once you've tested them. This has got to be one of mine. I'd actually buy this vehicle for myself just because of the gas mileage. I get longer distances out of a full tank of gas, I'm filling up less times at the pump, it gives me the power I need, and the car is fairly good maneuvering around curvy roads. So, I'm really giving an ups for the gas mileage. My second up for this vehicle has got to be the electronics on the inside. It's really easy to see your way around the dash. You can see how much gas you're using. You can see where the power's going in the vehicle. It's quite easy to view, and with that speedometer right below the windshield, you take less time to glance from the road to see what speed you're doing. That's got to be my second up. My down for the vehicle is some of the wasted space between the steering wheel and where the windshield starts right here at the bottom. There seems to be so much extra space that isn't used for anything. I think if they design the interior a little better of the vehicle, you get more usage. Although there's nothing bad on the interior, I think they could do a better job. And that's the complete review for the 2008 Honda Civic Hybrid.
The 2008 Honda Civic 4-door hybrid comes standard with a 1.3-liter, 110 horsepower, 4-cylinder engine and a 20 horsepower electric engine. It has a constant variable transmission and comes standard priced at $24,350 with an as-tested price of $24,985. City mile per gallon EPA rating is 40, highway mile per gallon EPA rating is 45.